everybody, Courtney here, and I wanted to do an update on the $50 a week challenge. So a couple of people told me they were a little bit confused about this challenge. So let me tell you what it was. It's $50 per person per week. And if you look at our earlier videos, we talk about what the USDA recommends that you spend on groceries per week based on the cost of food. Now it is a little confusing because they do not give a, like they'll say low cost, thrifty, moderate, and a liberal plan. But, groceries vary greatly. Like when I go to Fayetteville to see my kids, their groceries at their Aldi are substantially cheaper than groceries here at Kroger, and I live in a tourist town. So I would say we had been on the liberal plan for some time because my husband and I eat a lot of organic food, and to be honest, this has made me see some things about myself. And one of those things is I grew up with Depression era grandparents, and there was just this sense that there was never enough. And so what I mean by that was my grandfather went to the store every day to get food. Every day. We always had plenty of food. But then when I would live with other family members, it was the opposite. They would never go to the store. Oftentimes when I was living with other family members, it wasn't that they were trying to starve me, but we would maybe have some cheese and some turkey and an egg, and literally that would be it. And if that's not what you wanted to eat, that was just too bad. You had to eat it. And I spent a lot of my time alone as a kid, being a latchkey kid and living, alone with a mom at work, a single mom, when I did live there. So it was really challenging. And I know that since I have been able to afford groceries as an adult, it has caused me to feel that I always have to have a house full of groceries. And that has given me some anxiety through this challenge, and it's made me very aware. But that awareness is good, and I've had this awareness before when I've done other challenges. One of the reasons that I often do challenges, money challenges, food challenges, is because it does bring a huge amount of awareness to you, to your spending habits, and to your little idiosyncrasies. And so I want to tell you what some of my takeaways are so far from the spending challenge. But before I do that, let me tell you how I've done this. So we are on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, day 5 of a 7-day challenge. And actually it goes to the following Friday. But because I needed groceries 4 days before, I went ahead and went to the grocery store and spent $100. We were out of everything. And then on the following Friday, when we started this challenge, I only spent $50. Technically, I could have spent $100, but I thought that might be cheating a little bit, so I only spent $50. I made a list of foods that we would eat, and I have followed that list. It's getting pretty low around here right now. I could easily go buy some groceries and still justify it, but I'm going to try to stick it out. So what this has taught me is that I eat healthier when I think out my meals. If I just go to the store and load up on all the things we eat, sometimes it's hard to know what I'm going to put together because I don't have a plan. So as I have thought out my meals, I have definitely eaten healthier this week. Number 2 is forced planning, but less actual work as I planned for busy days. On Sunday, I cooked up over the weekend, I cooked up a bunch of food, and I'll tell you what we ate over the week, what we've had on our menu so far in just a moment after I do this. But I cooked up a bunch of food, and we've been eating on that all week with the exception of eating sheep today, and I'll talk about that in a minute. Let's see, number 3 was the meals were simpler, and that I discovered, and I already knew this, I guess, on some level, but the simpler your meals are, the cheaper they generally are. The less ingredients they involve, they're going to be cheaper. The more complicated a meal is, you're going to have more spices, more condiments, things like that, and it begins to get expensive unless it's things that you're going to have readily available in your house. So keeping things simple makes your life actually easier, and it's cheaper. Number 4 was finding and getting rid of expired foods like condiments and using up pantry and freezer foods. So I was going to make some tuna fish, and I was going to make tuna cakes, and I decided just to make tuna fish salad 'cause it's hot right now. And I was making that up, and I discovered that I had 3 containers, y'all, it's ridiculous, 2 light mayos and a regular mayo, and they were all expiring this month. So I used those up, and I just made up some tuna fish salad, and I threw them all away. Then I was going to make some deviled eggs, and I found that the mustard was about to expire, and I threw that away. So it definitely, is a great way to learn about what you have, and it made me kind of go through my fridge and make sure that nothing else was expired, and it's helping me get everything cleaned out. Packing food is a must. This past week has been challenging, to say the least. Technically, I've been on this challenge for 8 days, and my mother-in-law has been in and out of the hospital 3 times. She went back in this morning, so we've been having to run up there a lot. It's about a 30-minute drive to get there and back. My grandson, I forgot, I have a grandson by marriage who graduated from high school last night. We had that event that I forgot about. My oldest son decided to come home from Fayetteville for a few days, and I kind of panicked about feeding him, and he ended up taking care of himself, so it wasn't a problem. But we've also, and I can hardly talk about it, we had to put my dog down yesterday, and that just, I was grieving so bad yesterday. I could barely eat, much less cook. And today I'm doing a little bit better, but I'll talk about how that kind of changed my choices. So the next thing is, so I packed a lot. I do want to say Saturday, my friend was here visiting, and she asked if we wanted to go on a hike. We're both trying to save money. If you watch my other videos, I'm trying to save money to build some rental cabins on my property. We own a 40-acre farm, and I want to have rental cabins for long-term rental for specifically older women who are on fixed incomes and people with disabilities. And so I've been trying to save money to build those cabins. And so even though I don't have to be on a tight budget anymore, I am very, very conscientious of my spending for this reason. So that day I looked around and I had stuff to pack a beautiful picnic. I packed spinach salad with fruit and nuts. I packed strawberries with whipped cream and chocolate covered almonds and some drinks and some just mixed nuts, and we had a wonderful picnic. So and she was grateful because she was like, yeah, free meal saves money. So it worked out really good. And last night coming home, I was extremely hungry, and I was like, let's just go get something to eat. And then I said, no, you know what, we'll be home in 20 minutes. I had some soup left over, and I was fine once I got here. And that reminds me, the next thing would be planned leftovers helps keep hunger and week shopping at bay. If you have leftovers in your refrigerator, or you have food that you can easily grab, and I say planned leftovers because I don't mean convenience foods because they're so expensive, but I made up corn muffins, I had tuna fish salad, I had soup, 2 different kinds of soup, I had some little quiches, I had some deviled eggs to snack on, and things like that. Having leftovers in the fridge, it's going to keep you from going shopping for things that you don't need and from going out to eat. So that has helped tremendously. The 7th thing is it made me think about free activities as I'm more conscious of my spending. I have found this on every spending challenge I've ever done. It bleeds over into other areas. So Sheila and I kind of are the people who came up with doing this. It was her idea, and of course I'm on board because I'm always on board for a financial challenge. And we said that if we had social outings that we would eat out, but not, be taking advantage of that. So I had a couple of times that were planned that we did eat out. And what I found was that one day I had an event planned with my daughter that I had saved money to do. I ended up spending about $60 on 2 meals out and a snack. And I was like, wow, $60 when I spent $150 for almost 2 weeks. I mean, that's significant. And then one night we had something happen. I think it was with his mother being in the hospital, and we went to Cracker Barrel and got something really cheap, and it was $26 with a tip. But it just makes you realize like how much food you can buy in comparison to how expensive eating out is. And I purposefully chose restaurants that were not expensive to eat at during this challenge. And I think the total eating out has been like under $100 for 4 times and a snack. So that's still not bad, $25 on average, not including the snack. But it definitely has made me think, like, I don't really get much more value over, saying, going to Olive Garden, or I did have a nice meal with my mom before the challenge at a local Italian restaurant that makes everything from scratch. But I don't get as much value just on the everyday eating out as I do from just, like, saying, going to Cracker Barrel. So when you're thinking about eating out, making the next best choice. After my dog passed away yesterday, and I've had him for almost 16 years, and since he was a baby, he's my kid's first dog. I just didn't have it in me this morning to get up at 8 o'clock. I had to work all day yesterday. I just sucked it up. I did it. I've been working so long in my field, I know how to compartmentalize my brain, but there were times where I got teary-eyed teaching, and I'm a stress management medical yoga therapist. Like, I can't cry, I can't break down, and I can't bring my stuff to the class. I got to leave my problems at home or out the door. And so I've had a really busy 24 hours. I've taught 3 classes, and I've had some appointments I had to go to. So I just had to suck it up. And it was really hard. So today I gave myself a break, and I made what number 8 would be called make the next best choice. My husband and I went to Taco Bell. I don't normally eat fast food, but they have the power bowls there. I had it without the rice and beans, so it was low carb, just the meat and veggies. And we spent $18 on 2 drinks and 2 power bowls. So, I just made the next best choice. I didn't go get the expensive meal, but I chose a cheaper option. And then the next thing was, it goes along with that. Number 9 is there's always ways to save money if you're conscious of it. And a great way to be conscious is to do a spending challenge. And so I encourage you to try some of these spending challenges, and don't be afraid to make a mistake or to make a different choice or to not stick to it completely, because it's in the effort that you learn something about yourself. Real quickly, I'm going to go over what we had to eat this week so far and a couple of things I'm planning. We have 2 more days, and I'm going to make a quiche tomorrow. Tonight, I honestly don't know. I may have to grab something cheap, a salad or something out, because I have my son until 8 o'clock tonight. And I won't be back home. I'm about to go to the eye doctor. We had cornbread and soup. I had 2 different kinds of soup. We had flounder, carrots, and salad, tuna sandwiches, like several, yogurt with fruit and nuts. We have plenty of that left. Chicken quesadillas, low-carb pizza, which I made vegetarian, breakfast for dinner, crustless quiche, which I'm making tomorrow and we will eat on for 2 days, roasted chicken, sweet potato mash, butter beans, and Brussels sprouts, spinach salad, which we ate a couple of those, with fruit, nuts, and goat cheese, and keto pizza. I think I may have said that twice. So yeah, and I ate it twice. So that's what we've been eating, and yeah, it was pretty easy and pretty cheap, and I think I'm gonna make it till the deadline, so I'm feeling pretty good about it. At the very least, I've cut my spending substantially on groceries, and I feel like I can move from the liberal plan to either the low cost or moderate plan with some ease and save myself a lot of money and reach my goals faster. So thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. I do this out of my passion and hope to help other people. So have a wonderful day. If you like this, please subscribe and give a thumbs up and share with other people you know who are on a debt-free journey. Thank you.